Mi Band 7 Pro, long-awaited improved version of ultra-popular Mi Band from Xiaomi. But is it worth paying $50 for the Pro version? And by the way, doesn't the Band Pro from Xiaomi look similar? Look at the Huawei Band 7 or Redmi Band Pro. But the big difference in Xiaomi Band is GPS, and no one for that price will offer you the same amount of sensors in the band. Cost Smart Band 7 Pro 400 yuan or $51. And even no need to pay extra for the Pro version, since here in the basic setup is both GPS and NFC. But for now, NFC is pretty useless somewhere outside China, since it doesn't work with European or American banks. Of course, there is a prospect of adding support with major banks with a software update, but the chances are pretty minimal. The band comes with the cable, device itself, and some amount of paper for you to never look at. Charging cable is magnetic, but the cable from the Mi Band non-Pro version will not be supported to charge the Pro version. Talking about design, now it looks less of a band and more like a minimalistic smartwatch. But at the same time, the new device is as compact as light as the Mi Band non-Pro. It is still quite comfortable to wear, feels nice on the arm, and it doesn't feel like a chunky device like the same standard smartwatch. And just look how sweet it looks on the arm, sleek and expensive, even though it costs only $50. Feeling of being expensive gives the metallic outer corner, which is made out of aluminum and is being polished. It gives the feeling of the device being premium, and the glass is curved, which also adds to the feeling of the premium device. But the rest of the body is made out of polymer, or in other words, cheap plastic. Graphite out of the box is made from silicon, but on AliExpress there is a ton of metal, eco-leather and other type of bands for this device. The band integration looks better than on Mi Band 7, so well done. Going next to the numbers, the bracelet can survive 5 atmospheres, so it can be used in the swimming pool. The body 7mm thick, weighs 31 grams, and talking about colors, white and gold and pretty classic black version. Of course, there are separate variations with different band colors like blue, green and orange, but the body is going to be the same, black or gold and white. Of course, there are some official and third-party bands like Van Gogh Green or Monet Grey from Eco-Leather, and fortunately the straps do not have unite construction, so they can be mixed together. Not that it would be necessary, but if you want to stand out with an interesting color solution, it can be done. The construction of the strap, part of the body leaning forward, is not the construction made for ages, but for a couple of years it will go. But it looks sleek and united, and the solution is pretty monolithic. So summarizing the design, not as sleek as Apple Watch, but for its price, 10 out of 10. Now the screen. Here is not without surprises. At first it got bigger to 1.64 from 1.62 in Mi Band. Sounds not like a great of a change, but it feels much better because the aspect ratio of the device, the screen feels bigger. Because of these changes it can store more icons and it's much easier to choose the right icon on the first try, and of course letters look much sharper. The resolution is 280 per 456 pixels, PPI 326, and the ratio to the body is 70%. Always on display function is present, and also there are around 180 watch faces that support these functions. Not all of these watch faces in their library support this function, but a lot do. Also, the bracelet has sensor of the light, so the brightness is automatic and it works great by the way. Now about minuses. The display is pretty average with only as it feels 30 FPS. Yes, it's OLED, yes, it is advertised as 500 nits, but it feels not as bright as the same Mi Band 7. Do not know why, but always on display is not bright, so it's very hard to see under the direct sunlight. So it's pretty useless here, so let's turn it off and save some battery. Also, the frames here are not symmetrical in the bottom corner, so it's pretty annoying if you have some bright watch face. Now the battery it has increased from 180 mAh to 235. Animation of charging hasn't changed, the same pretty nice line around the body with time in the middle of it, and Xiaomi tells us that 5 minutes of charge will be enough for 8 hours of sleep tracking, and also that the charging has increased 40% compared to usual Mi Band. Also, Chinese promises us up to 12 days of usage in a single charge compared to 15 days on a usual Mi Band 7, but in reality we'll get 4 to 5 days on a single charge if all the functions are on, like SPO2, heart rate, GPS, activity, sleep tracking, etc. If you will turn everything off, maybe you'll get 10 to 12 days. Okay, the most important function, GPS. Full stack GPS in such device as a smart band for such price is incredible. But how it is useful? First of all, no need to take smartphone with you for a run to track distance and route. And the device supports not only GPS but also Galileo, GLONASS, UZSS and Beidou. Of course, this function will be mostly useful for active people, but even tracking a walk outside is a pleasant thing to have. The device is connected using MyFitness, and everything is synchronized using this app with integration of Zepp Live. In case you have a smart skill from Xiaomi as well, the data will be synchronized. Talking about MyFitness, it stores all of the results of the tracking like heart rate, SpO2, sleeping activity, menstrual cycle, and it's very minimalistic, I'd say even Apple way. Now talking about interface, on the left quick settings, on the right shortcuts which can be personalized, and menu on the bottom, and notifications can be accessed from the upper corner. In the settings can be found camera control app and app to find your phone. But annoying thing is that notifications from different apps are not being shown with different icons, which is pretty strange for me. Also, Band Pro doesn't have speaker, so the call can be either cancelled or you can send a message from pre-made answers. Also, from another part of the system, when scrolling the widgets on your right, when you go to the end of the list, you cannot return using one swipe. You need to swipe all the way back. And even if you cover the screen and go to the always on display mode, you won't return to the main screen. So what about sports tracking? 117 presets, including lots of types of running, walking, cycling, working out at the gym, and essentially everything you can think of will be here. Also, automatic tracking of workouts, stress measurements, heart rate, steps, SpO2 works as well as sleep tracking. Everything's 24/7. And by the way, VO2 Max is also here. Optical sensor on the back of the device is new comparing to non-Pro version, and it looks a little bit better. Everything works fine for usual life and even for light sport activities. Couple of moments left, that's Bluetooth 5.2 BLE and also vibration, which is quite odd comparing to non-Pro version, and in my opinion it's a little bit worse. So summarizing everything, Band Pro costs $20 more than non-Pro version, but is it worth it? If you like the looks and bigger screen, it is worth it. In other cases, Mi Band 7 is also okay and costs less. Essentially, that's good to have bigger version of the Mi Band, since for me personally, usual Mi Band is too small to read anything. And here you can normally read notifications at least, and of course let's not forget about GPS. Totally the device with no useless functions, essentially everything you need from a smartwatch in a smart band, but still choose yourself, and that's the story.